Hey y'all, beautiful rising. We're gonna get into the energy this morning, y'all. Let's get my set up, all set up. I hope y'all are having an amazing day, y'all. Let's see what is going on. All right, start dropping those hearts as y'all come in to the live. Awesome. I see the hearts going. I see the hearts going, y'all. All right, we're gonna get into the energy today, y'all. We're gonna use the third eye. We're gonna use our third eye oil this morning, y'all. Cause it's something that you need to see, is what I heard. All right. When I was taking my spiritual bath, all right, this morning. All right. So we're gonna put our third eye oil, all right, into the little aromatherapy pot up here, y'all. All right. Cause it's something I heard Spirit say you need to see. Hold on, y'all. Let me get this stuff off my hands now. Because I licked my finger. Ew. Y'all, I am the worst at that. I don't know if anybody else does that. I'm so bad. I have to wash my hands because I got a bad habit of like putting my fingers in my mouth. Third eye oil, it don't taste that good, y'all. Look, third eye chakra oil. It don't taste that good, y'all. All right, y'all, let's get into the energy, y'all. So today, y'all, is a beautiful day. All right, today is a beautiful day. Let's talk a little astrology. All right, let's talk a little astrology first. All right, so today's energy is all about breaking free, y'all, from routines. All right, breaking free from certain routines in your life and truly just trusting your heart, y'all. Truly trusting your heart. The bold Aries sun is aligning with Gemini moon. Gemini is always curiosity, is always communication. Gemini is really inquisitive, all right? Today's transit is going to be very important to people who have Aries placements, all right? Gemini placements anywhere, y'all, sun, moon, or rising, and even still Pisces placements, right? So today is about keeping an open mind, right? And intuitive connections, all right? So what are intuitive connections? Those are the connections that you connect with people through what? The third eye, right? Those are the connections where you know it's something deeper than what the surface can see. So that's why you have to be very careful today and trust your heart, all right? Because your heart is where your intuition lies, right? The heart is the center of your chakra system, right? But your third eye is closely connected to your heart, right? So when you make decisions from the heart, you know it's because of your third eye, because logic says everything other than that, child. All right. So today, all right, is encouraging spontaneity, right? And fresh conversations in your love life, all right? Whether that's friendships, relationships, unions, whatever it is inspiring these spontaneous conversations, right? So meanwhile, Mercury, all right, is making its final conjunction in the North Node in Pisces, right? So that is still bringing a deep intuitive clarity, right, to relationships. So that's why you have to listen to your intuition, right? No matter what the relationship is, y'all, I'm a relationship therapist, right? But relationships are family relationships, right? They're relationships, right? They're love and marriage relationships. These moon transits, sun transits, planetary transits affect all relationships, not just a love dynamic, right? So whatever it is, you got to understand is bringing deep intuitive clarity to all of your relationships. All right. So what's confusing over the last 6 weeks, y'all, is going to make sense. All right. So if there's been something heavy in your energy over the last 6 months and you really just been, 6 weeks, I'm sorry. If there's been something over the last 6 weeks where you just, I heard somebody say, make it make sense. I don't know. Somebody you like, make it make sense, right? So whatever this is over the last 6 weeks, God is about to make it make sense. All right. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's get into it. So the overall energy is very upbeat, communicative, and deeply intuitive. All right. It's a fantastic day, y'all, to try something new. All right, with your partner. If you're single, strike up a conversation with someone outside. All right. So let's get into the energy, y'all. All right, let's get into the energy. I'm seeing 777. All right, y'all. So I want to start with the Soul's Journey Lessons card, right? I'm going to do a you versus them. All right. So I want to see what's going on with the feminine collective. Then I want to see what's going on with the masculine collective. I want to see what the mutual energy is. Then I also want to see what the challenge or obstacle is. All right. And we just going to tap in, y'all. All right. Please listen to the moderators, as I cannot always see the comments, y'all. Once I start channeling, I don't always see the comments. So please listen to the moderators. I appreciate any gifts that you guys send. All right. Donations can always be sent to my Cash App, which is the Lady Empath without the 11s. All right, let's get into the energy, and I will be on TikTok, y'all, at 9. I got to end today because the kids are back in school. All right, so I got to end today promptly at about 8:15 to take baby girl to school, and then I will be on TikTok at 9. All right, let's get into the energy, y'all. All right, what is taking place within the divine feminine? All right, what is the energy for the divine feminine at this time? Ooh, forgiveness. All right, queens, y'all might have to forgive someone or something. All right, we'll talk about that in a minute when we clarify. All right, let me lower this just a little bit so y'all can get more of the table. There we go. All right, forgiveness. All right, so there is for the divine feminine energy of forgiveness. It says, I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love, right? So if you are in this energy of resentment towards anyone in your life, right? Whether that's your spouse, your children, your job, whatever it is for you, is activating something within pretty much your entire chakra system, y'all, is lit up on this card except for the heart, right? That's the only color I'm not seeing, right? So this has a lot to do with your solar and sacral energy, right? But more of your crown and your third eye, as well as your throat, right? So this is communication, but this is confidence, this is creativity, this is grounding energy, right? Because you may be asked to forgive someone or something. We're going to clarify in a minute. All right, what's taking place within the masculine collective? What's taking place? Oh, yeah, shit me, bitch. You're going to have to forgive somebody. I'm sorry, y'all. Got me right out the spirit. Girl, yeah, okay, somebody. You're going to have to forgive. Because the masculine energy is somebody's carrying guilt, y'all. Someone's carrying guilt. That's why the feminine energy is saying forgiveness, right? Guilt, right? Communication. Both of these cards are the same colors and different patterns, right? Different patterns. So there's a conversation, y'all, with this moon energy and sun energy today. Mental curiosity is what I'm hearing. All right. Harmony. Yeah. See, around this afternoon at 1:09, the moon will sextile the sun, right? The sun will sextile the moon, right? Right at Aries, Gemini, right? Which is harmony between what you want and what you feel, right? So somebody, your person may need to apologize. And you may be asked to forgive them, right? Because it's something that's taking place. Your adversity in the reverse is at the bottom of the deck. All right. So somebody, your person is being faced with releasing a belief that no longer assists them in their soul's growth, though, right? It says guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So as the masculine collective, they are being asked to release the guilt of holding on to things. Y'all, I heard obligations, right? Like somebody is being forced to look at everything that they have held on to that stopped their soul's growth. Why? Because anything that stops their soul growth stops the union of the two, right? And even if this is your external masculine energy, you as a feminine, if you're single, let me tell you how this correlates. If you're single, God is telling you it's something you need to forgive yourself for because you're holding on to the guilt. And it has everything to do with your masculine energy, which is your root, sacral, and solar, right? So it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not. You have to be able to see you, right, for your own masculine and feminine energy. There could simply be something that you're holding on to within your own masculine framework, right, that you need to release because it's stopping your soul's growth. Anything that stops your soul's growth, you're going to have to forgive yourself. Why? Because you stopping your soul's growth, right? So even if you look at it as an internal masculine energy or your own, right, external divine masculine, as the masculine energy is in guilt, the feminine energy is called to what? Forgive. Y'all stop playing. That's the polarity. That is the duality of the two, y'all. That is the duality of the masculine and the feminine. So again, whether this is your external masculine and feminine or your internal, it's still about what? Guilt and forgiveness. It's 727, y'all. 7 is spirituality. 2 is decision making, right? right? But you have to make the decision to communicate, and one has to make the decision to forgive. All right. So, what is the challenge or obstacle? All right. What is the challenge or obstacle at this time? Woo! All right, courage. Say that shit. All right, courage, y'all. So the challenge or the obstacle between the two, masculine and feminine, whether that's you by yourself, right, or your person, right, is courage. Somebody got to have courage, y'all. It says, I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Yeah. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. So now somebody is having to look inside themselves as a masculine and a feminine collective. You got to have courage, raw, because the journey to divine union, the journey to you, right? The journey to your soul's awakening. Oh, that shit takes courage, y'all. It takes courage for you not to care about what people think. It takes courage for you to forgive yourself because you stayed in relationships and situations too long, right? It takes courage for you to release the guilt of how you ended up in certain places in your life that stunted your own soul's growth, right? So no matter what we are speaking to, all of it is a part of your journey to self. And because of that, it takes courage, y'all. It takes courage to go to life coaching and look at some of the things, right, that you have done to get you to where you are, right? Even though we know that people are a part of our story, we are the only ones that impact us. People never impact you. You impact you, right? So what you have to understand is the challenge or obstacle right now, or the mutual energy between the masculine and collective is courage, right? This is the mutual energy between the masculine and the feminine is courage. Now let's see what the challenge or obstacle is. All right. So what is the challenge or obstacle in the collective at this time? All right. What is the collective challenge or obstacle? Pride. I can't fucking make it up. I can't make it up, y'all. Pride, right? As a collective, this is the obstacle, right? Because as a feminine, you begin to understand that the only reason I stayed, the only reason I gave, the only reason I did not what? Follow my heart. What did I tell y'all? The chakra that is missing off of both of these cards that's showing up for the feminine and the masculine is green, which is what? The heart chakra, right? The thing that's missing out of all of this, y'all, is green, the heart chakra, right? So it's like somebody, you're having to understand that you weren't operating out of your heart chakra, right? When you made whatever decisions it is that you made, right? Maybe you were operating out of strictly your third, strictly what God said, right? Right? Sometimes we go by things that God say, y'all, but you know in your heart something ain't right. Stop playing, y'all. You know in your heart something ain't right, right? But when you're in that chakra energy of really just being focused on your crown, right? Focused on forgiveness, focused on, you're still not honoring what's in your heart, right? What is that? Pride. Because what does it say? I love myself and I see myself in everyone, right? So when you love yourself, you can see yourself in others, right? But you do not get to the point where you sacrifice yourself for others, right? That's still pride. That is something within you that says, I'm not going to just let this shit be, right? I'm not just going to let it be what it is and detach, right? That's still pride, y'all. See, the feminine operates in pride when you stay around certain people, places, and situations that are counterproductive to your soul's growth, right? So whether that's a relationship, whether that's a friendship, right? Whether that's a family dynamic, let me tell you, if you still showing up to family dinners on weekends and you know these people hate you, it's your pride that won't let you walk away. Because why you give a fuck about these people? If you are still showing up to family events, if you're still showing up to work, right, trying to give a fuck about what these people think versus just doing your job and going home, that's your pride, y'all. Your pride won't even let you detach from situations that you know are not there for your highest and greatest good, right? So when we get into pride, y'all, it's easy for us to say the masculine energy operate in pride and ego, but you got to understand, y'all, we are mirrors of the other. If your masculine is still dealing with pride and ego, so are you, right? And what is your pride and ego? You won't let that shit go. Stop playing. You won't let it go. That's your pride and ego, right? Now, for the masculine collective, this is still a challenge as well. Why? Because it says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. See, as the masculine collective, y'all, they see themselves in you, right, as the feminine. But because of their pride, it will not allow them to be softened in their heart, because there is still no heart chakra energy out here, right? So all of this right now is focusing on your heart. What's in your heart, right? And that's what we said, even with today's moon transits, y'all. See, as you understand, it's about what's in your heart and trusting your heart. Every card that we have pulled out here, y'all, this morning, the heart is missing. It's the heart. So now God is literally saying, but are you going to be led by your heart? Right? Or are you going to be led by what it is that you see, right? Because a lot of this is that sacral solar plexus energy, right? So what you got to understand is that this, right, is about forgiveness, because there is an underlying energy of guilt. All right. So what is the overall? All right, let's see. What is the I want to see what I want to ask. What's the lesson? All right, what is the collective lesson at this time? All right, before we clarify, what is the collective lesson? Oh, I'll make it up. Adversity, y'all. See, right now, the masculine and feminine collective, there is some adversity, y'all. It is adversity, y'all, because I still don't see much of the heart. Yeah, it's a little tint of green, little bit of green on here, but not enough, y'all. So right now, the lesson is in adversity. At the bottom of the deck is purpose. Why? Because your connection is about your purpose, y'all. That's it. That's all. If we are ever talking about divine unions, and that's all I talk about, because that's what I teach, what you have to understand is that it's not about love, it's about purpose. And if you were to sit on my live and say, Lady Empath, I am in a divine union, then you got to understand the divine union, even if it's within you, yourself as a single person, is still about your purpose, not about the adversity that surrounds you. Right? Not about the adversity that surrounds you, right? So what you got to understand is, even if you're single, it's not about the adversity. Even if you're in your relationship or your union or your marriage, it's not about the adversity. The lesson right now is the adversity. All right, y'all. So let's clarify. All right, I got 60 some people watching and 22 thumbs up. If you are enjoying the content, please give it a thumbs up. That way it will push the algorithms out to others. Now, if you're not enjoying the content, then click off, because I should have 60 something people watching, only 22 thumbs up. So that means you trolling, right? So if you're not trolling, then that means you're enjoying the content. And if you're enjoying the content, then give it a thumbs up. Now, if you trolling, take your ass on. All right, let's get into the energy, y'all. All right. So as a divine feminine, I want to see, what is this overall energy of forgiveness? All right. What is the overall energy of forgiveness? All right, what does my divine feminine need to know about forgiveness? Oh, yeah, happy family, y'all. Stop playing. Happy family, y'all. Somebody, you may have to forgive your external family so that you can align with your internal family, is what I'm hearing God say. And whether this is a past relationship, your family, right? Whatever it is, it's a part of your foundation, right? With this number 4. All right, 4 is also a representation of the emperor. Somebody, maybe this is a father, right? Maybe somebody, you need to forgive a father or a father figure, right? Whatever it is, it's like you have to exercise forgiveness. It could be your divine masculine, y'all. Again, 4 is the emperor energy. So you may be asked to forgive your divine masculine. And whether that's your own internal masculine or external, in order for things to be happy, you're going to have to forgive something, y'all. There's a rainbow here, though. And we talked about this the other day. I saw that beautiful rainbow as I was driving down the street, y'all. 434 could be significant. All right, 434. I was driving down 434, y'all. And this card is the number 4. All right, Empress is 3. Stop playing, y'all. 434. Somebody, you gotta forgive if you want happiness, right? You gotta forgive if you want things to come together. And again, whether this you forgiving your external family or you forgiving your divine masculine, there may be something that you're gonna have to forgive. Why? Because today governs communication, right? So today governs communication. And as you understand that, right, you may get that conversation that you've been waiting on, y'all, but it may require you to forgive in order for happiness. All right. What's guilt for my divine masculine? It says, I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. All right. What's guilt All right, what's guilt? All right, yeah, door to value. Stop playing, y'all. I can't make it up. See, the masculine collective have been working on their financial status, y'all. These are men who feel like their status only comes through their money, right? See, door to value with this money, right? But let me tell you, your value has nothing to do with your money. Your value is based on who you are. And as a masculine collective, they have to get out of the energy of feeling like their money, right, is their value. Somebody feels guilty, y'all, because they were trying to establish a foundation of value based on money, right, versus based on what God was showing them. See, there's a door that is open now in the masculine collective to where they are more affluent, right? They're more lucrative. 737, y'all. 7 is spirituality. 3 is coming together. Empress energy, right? 31, y'all. 3 and 1 is 4. All right. We got 4 out here, y'all. So what you got to understand is that as you forgive, or even in your heart, somebody, you need to say, yeah, because at the bottom of the deck is 33, y'all. Door to romance. Door to romance, right? So what you got to understand is that many of the collective, they were taught to get their value out of money, right? What it is that they could provide, how much money they had, not understanding the beauty of what was on the other side of what God has always been showing them, right? But that takes courage, right? So that's why the mutual energy right now is about courage, right? Because you got to have the courage, y'all, to follow your heart even when your money ain't funny, right? You got to have the courage to follow your heart, even when things aren't always sunshine and rainbows, y'all. That's why the mutual energy within the collective this morning is courage. Why? Because the challenge or obstacle is pride, y'all. Pride is the fucking tyrant to courage. Because you got to have courage, y'all, to get out of pride, right? Because pride is ego. Pride is telling yourself that you got to get to a certain level. You got to get to a certain status, right? Pride in the divine feminine tells you he's perfect. He's never done anything wrong. What are you talking about? He's my king. That's your pride. Your pride won't let you look at that man and say, no, he is toxic. He could have cheated. He could have lied. He could have done all of those things, y'all. But the divine feminine pride would tell you, my king would never do that. Shit, me. Kings do whatever the fuck low vibrational toxic ass people do, y'all, until they heal. So a lot of times the divine feminine, you operating in pride when you looking at that man talking about he's a king, right? When he's really healing and he has king potential, but he is not quite a king. And when he is doing low vibrational stuff, right? Breadcrumbing, not showing up, not returning calls, not incorporating you in his life, that's low vibrational toxic behavior. Your pride won't let you admit that though. So your pride lets you keep holding on. Your pride keeps letting you call. Your pride keeps letting you see him in the way that he really ain't showing up as, y'all. That is your pride, right? So we both, as a masculine and feminine collective, you both operate out of pride, y'all. Everybody does. God told you a long time ago to walk the fuck away because he wasn't doing right. But your pride kept saying, but that's my person, but that's my person. God said, yeah, I told you that was your person. But I ain't never tell you to let somebody breadcrumb you. I ain't never tell you to let somebody drag you along. I ain't never tell you to stay in somebody's energy who is not showing up for you. That is what divine feminine pride looks like, y'all. Masculine pride looks like attached to the 3D world. Feminine pride looks like you listening to God, but still sticking your ass around for something that God says is not valuable to you. Stop playing, y'all. So somebody right now, the masculine and feminine collective, the mutual energy is courage. All right, I saw victory at the bottom of the deck. Let's clarify courage. Yeah, woman holding a heart, y'all. This shit's gonna take courage. Finally, we got a heart, y'all. Finally, we got a heart, right? So this is about the feminine energy in general. So what does that look like? Divine feminine. You're gonna have the courage to keep your heart open because the divine masculine has something to say. And there is something that is weighing down on the masculine collective, and it feels a lot like guilt. Guilt, right? So what you got to understand is your heart is what attracts them to you, and it's going to take courage to keep your heart open, y'all. It says what? I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. What is that? Heart open, right? Heart open. What does that mean for the masculine collective? They have to tap into their feminine energy because that is where your heart is, y'all, right? So which means they have to do what? Open their heart as well, right? So the mutual energy is what? Protection, y'all. I can't make it up. I got 4 out here. Every freaking card, y'all. Happy family is 4. Woman holding a heart is 44. All right. Daughter value is 31, which is another 4. Right? What is that? God's protection, y'all. Protection. So whatever the adversity is, y'all just got to release pride because something is completely protected. And whether this is the vision that you have for yourself, right? The vision you have for your union, whatever it is, y'all, you manifesting it through your heart. That's why no heart energy is out here. Thank you, Spirit. God said that's why ain't shit out here, right? Because you got to look at where your heart at right now, y'all. Today is a day to examine your heart. I don't make it up. I just read the energy. Because what did I say, y'all? With the moon, right? With the moon, it's about open minds and intuitive connections, right? So today's energy is all about breaking free from routine and trusting. I can't make it up. Trusting your heart. Trusting your heart. All right. What is this pride then? All right. Let's get the energy for pride because I don't know what the fuck this pride is then. All right. So what's pride? All right. What's pride for the collective? All right. Thinking woman. Thinking woman, overthinking, all right? This is a lot about the feminine energy, y'all. This is a lot about the feminine energy. Woman holding a heart and thinking woman. Right now, the masculine collective, their biggest thing is their value. Daughter value with this guilt, right? For thinking that they had to have a certain amount of money to be loved, right? Like they had to have a certain amount of value to truly be loved. Masculine, they don't need that. You as a feminine, you love them open-heartedly regardless, y'all. That's why they have to deal with this, right? Which is daughter value. As the feminine, you've been overthinking. Why? Because that's your pride. Stop playing, y'all. Stop playing. That's your pride. 60 people watching, y'all. If you are enjoying the content, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, we only have 50% at the thumbs up, 30 thumbs up, 60 people watching. All right, somebody, woman holding a heart, right? With thinking woman. You've overthinking, y'all. Yeah, stop playing, y'all, with yin yang at the bottom of the deck. You know this your person. Stop playing. Stop playing with yin yang at the bottom of the deck. Y'all, what is that? 22. What is that? Another freaking 4. I cannot make it up this morning. What are you talking about? 22, 33, 44? The synchronicities is off the chain. Y'all, somebody, you know you in a twin flame union. Stop playing. Another 4. Another 4. You know your shit's protected from what, y'all? Adversity. See, what you are experiencing as the divine feminine in your energy is the adversity of the connection. Why? Girl, karmics is going wild is all I can tell you, y'all. The karmics are going wild at this point because retrograde is done and now we in the shadows, y'all, of retrograde. Karmics going wild. So what you are experiencing is a lot of the adversity in the energy, right? The adversity in the energy. It's nothing going on with your divine union, y'all. Yeah, stop playing. Patience is at the bottom of the deck with Angel of Strength. And I know, queens, come on, y'all, because cornucopia is behind that. And what I hear God say is, I know the plans that I have for you. And I know that you've been patient. Because soon as I said patient, somebody said, but God damn, I've been patient. Right? 34 likes, 3 and 4 is 7. 7 is spirituality. Right? So I understand it's taking strength, y'all. Angel of strength with patience. Hell yeah. It has taken you straight strength, y'all. But cornucopia is on the other side of that. What's that? Blessings. 1111. Right? That's the number 11 card, y'all. With yin yang. What is that? 1111. Right? This is alignment. Patience, y'all. Patience is all I can say. Yeah, why? Because this is a contract, y'all. Stop playing. Contract is at the bottom of the deck. So when you understand that what you are experiencing is a part of your divine contract, right? You'll also understand the recalibration of the energy that's taking place right now, right? So as we have now entered into this new year, y'all, we are now in the spring equinox. All of that fire energy that's been building up on the back of your neck, right? It's like revving up a car. Somebody, you remember my little brother, them used to have them cars. I even used to buy for my kids, right? The little cars that you rev back and you rev it up and you rev it up and you rev it up. And when you let it go, you think it's just going to go take off and it's going to go real far. And that thing go by 4 feet and you be like, what the fuck? That's what this energy is, though, y'all. You have been revving up your car, child. Stop playing. You have been revving it up, revving it up, revving it up, because that's what has been taking place from January 1st to now. Well, when the spring equinox hit, it's like you breathe, right? And you let the car go. But then you like, well, damn, it ain't go far enough, right? You don't know what's taking place in the spirit, though, right? You don't know what's taking place in the spirit. So even though you may feel like 747, y'all, 7 is spirituality, 4 is a foundation, right? God is already setting the foundation, y'all. But what you got to understand is you're overthinking. This is a contract of 2 souls. Stop playing. This is a contract, y'all, of souls. So whatever it is, there is a measure of guilt, right, within the masculine collective. I saw one in y'all bathroom, and then there's one. I saw one on y'all bathroom counter, a purple one. All right, let's get into the energy, y'all. All right, I think I'm going to go to the tarot. Let me sip my coffee. Yeah, y'all, stop playing. Blossoming abundance is at the bottom of the deck, y'all. And I'm going to put that right here next to adversity, because there is some type of adversity that's taking place. I don't know why I heard what's the vibe. All right, let's clarify adversity with this what's the vibe deck, y'all. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely some type of tension in the energy. I see somebody beating their head up against the wall, child. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. What is this adversity? All right, y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in to the live, y'all. I am the Lady Empath 1111. All right, we'll be on our TikTok live. All right, at 9 a.m. Do not forget, we will be in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend, y'all, for the Atlanta Women in Business Symposium. If you guys would like to meet me, I will be the moderator, all right, at that conference on this weekend in Atlanta. But we will be meeting up, y'all, for dinner Friday night in Atlanta. I don't know that we've announced the restaurant yet. So make sure you guys are on Discord, all right? That's the only way to truly communicate with me, all right, in a more timely fashion. All right, let's see. What is adversity? It says, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. All right, somebody is accepting the challenges. All right, what is adversity? All right, adversity. Oh, shit, yeah. All right, y'all. Double life, two-faced people, y'all. Somebody, there he is. There's a double life. The divine masculine has been living some type of double life, y'all. And whatever this double life is now, it's created more adversity in the collective energy, right, of needing to communicate, y'all. This is blue energy, right? Today, as the moon moves into Gemini, right? Gemini is about communication, right? So this adversity is that now the masculine energy is being encouraged to communicate, right, about some of the things right now. If this is your own internal masculine, this is you. And this is God saying, how have you been living a double life, right? How have you had 1 foot in and 1 foot out, right? Whatever the double life is, whether it's you living a double life or your person, there is some type of double life, y'all. Two-faced, double life. Yeah, being clarified by family. Stop playing. It's their inner circle, y'all. See, somebody, yeah, and that's the delay, y'all. Damn, I wasn't even trying to, the card pop. Goddamn, if I could rewind the tape, y'all, I wasn't even trying to shuffle. Damn, this card popped out, y'all. Pop out. Somebody's name could be Michael. Somebody, your person could have gifted you a Michael Kors watch. All right, a Michael Kors watch could be significant, but this is about delays, y'all. Somebody, your person been over here talking about they too busy, and they too busy, but somebody got a double life, and I feel like it has a lot to do with their family or their inner circle. What's blood ties and inner circle? Somebody's family has been creating some type of delays. Yeah, nurturing and smelling the roses. See, somebody, your person can't even slow down enough to smell the roses because they're given to too many people around them. Somebody, your person could be somebody who is like a mentor or a nurturer around the people or people around them. And it's like maybe they have a lot of wisdom, right? Let me tell you something about kings, y'all. Kings are the one man in a whole damn family that got their shit together, right? Kings are the one person in a whole goddamn family that's actually doing something with their life, right? So because of that, they have so many fucking people around them, y'all. Blood ties, inner circle, and these people are two-faced, y'all, because all these people do is create delays within your union because it creates adversity. What does it do? Hey, I need you to come do this for me, but can you come over here and do this for me? But what about me? What about me? I'm seeing pick-me's, y'all, but I'm seeing somebody's family. Like somebody's family is is pick-me's. And what your person is doing is creating further delays in the relationship or the union that God has ordained for the two of you guys, because they are nurturing everybody around them, y'all. Somebody got to exercise more wisdom in who it is that they give to, y'all, because they can't even slow down and smell the roses. Yeah. Somebody got to start blocking people, y'all. Stop calling. Y'all stop calling. Y'all stop playing. Y'all not just spent 3 days with the king. His phone don't ever stop ringing. Motherfuckers be calling him at 10:30, 11 o'clock. Goddamn, y'all know I'm here. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Right? But you gotta understand, these men are like the pillar of their whole damn family. And they be talking about, oh, my bad. I know, they would say my name there. But why you calling then? You literally just said, I know y'all in bed. I know, right? But you still calling, right? Y'all, it's amazing. Because I'm in union, y'all. It is amazing. You sitting there talking about, this man tired. He just worked all day. We sleeping. We in the bed because you just not on the door. And then when we answer the door, you start calling. Family, y'all. Family. I don't make it up. And don't be wanting shit, y'all. So what you got to understand is people have to understand. Somebody say, stop calling. What is that? Masculine energy, y'all. See, your divine masculine has to step into their masculine energy. Mine don't play that. He don't fucking play that. Like, don't call my phone. We sleep, right? Like, don't call my phone no more. What is wrong with you, right? So you got to understand the masculine energy, they'll block that shit when they ready. When they're ready, they will block that shit, y'all. See, somebody, your divine masculine is a father, could be a father figure to many people, right? This is someone who provides the discipline and the authority, right, to the people around them, right? But then you got to understand, they also have to understand how to block people, right? Somebody got on a black turtleneck today. Somebody, your person got a tribal tattoo on their chest or their shoulder, all right? But somebody, your person is that person for everyone. So what you got to understand as the masculine collective, a lot of the adversity, or again, this could be you, right? If you are the masculine figure in your family, even if you are a woman, you got to tell people, stop fucking calling me because I'm asleep, right? Why are you calling me, right? So whatever it is, all it is doing is creating delays, y'all, in your life. Take it how it resonates, right? Whether it's a relationship or what, is creating delays, right? Somebody you giving to too many people. You won't even take time to slow down and get out in the nature, right? Smell the roses, right? Get out in the nature because you doing stuff for everybody, right? So what you got to understand is that the masculine and the feminine collective, we learn the same lessons, y'all. So whether it's you or your person, it's the same lessons that each are learning. Somebody is still about taking time to literally smell the roses, right? Nurture the connections in your life, only the ones that nurture you. All right, only the ones that nurture you. All right, we got 71 people watching. If you're enjoying the content, give the video a thumbs up, y'all. You mess up the algorithms if you watching and not liking the content. And if you don't like the content, then click off. I like my analytics and I like my algorithms. And I don't like to look at it with 79 people watching and 40 thumbs up. That's stupid. All right, somebody is drowning in their emotions. What did I tell you? Pride, y'all. Pride is here. All right. Somebody is drowning. It says overextended and rock bottom. Let's go to the tarot, y'all. Yeah, stop playing, y'all. The Fool. God said you ain't even got to shuffle. The Fool is at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Somebody is tired of the people around them. 9 of Swords that have been keeping them trapped in fear, right? Somebody's walking away. 8 of Cups, because there's been a lot of confusion about this situation between the two of y'all. The Lovers, right? And the King of Wands. But the damn Tower is behind that. Stop playing, y'all. There is somebody who is absolutely drowning in their own emotions because they're extending themselves. Obligations, y'all. Obligations. So somebody is now understanding that they have overextended themselves so much so that they cannot do what it is that they need to do to cultivate the union between the two of you guys, y'all. Somebody, your person could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, right? This is someone who is presenting as the King of Wands, right? Someone who is a lover, y'all. I heard caking. Somebody, your person is a lover. They like to do cake and shit. They really do, right? But they don't even have the time to do shit with you or for you, y'all. Somebody now understands somebody's up at night, insomnia, because they've allowed people to keep them away from you, y'all. 8 of Cups, right? Literally. 9 of Swords, 8 of Cups. Fear, guilt. Wow. That's why the energy is guilt, y'all. That's what God just said. That's why the masculine energy is guilt. Someone feels guilty that they knew that this was their journey, y'all, the fool. Somebody knew that they were to take the journey when you took the journey. Somebody, you and your person was supposed to be on this journey together at the exact same time. Yep, 2 of Pentacles and 3 of Pentacles, 23 or 32. Could be significant. You and your person was supposed to make the decision to work together and do this thing together, y'all. It was never supposed to be a separation for whoever message this is. It was y'all were supposed to meet and grow together. The Hermit is here, right? This person was supposed to meet you, mature, and y'all was supposed to do it at the same time. 757, y'all. 7 is spirituality. 5 is change. Another 7. What is that? 2 people on a spiritual path of change. It was supposed to happen together, but your person allowed fear, right, to stop them. So you elevated and you outgrow them, and now they feel guilty because they were in this options energy, y'all. Somebody was in the 7 of Cups with these distractions and illusions. What's the 7 of Cups? Yeah, the 3 of Cups in a fucking reverse. External, third party, dumb shit. Distractions, y'all. 3 of Cups in the reverse. Of course, y'all. And here you go with the Queen of Swords. What the fuck we doing here? Right? See, somebody, when you pull out your sword, you walk through. Now I'm hearing walk through. When I walk through. When you walk through with truth and order, right? When you walk through, somebody, you just had to walk through. Stop playing. You need to come through in your Queen of Swords energy, because somebody got a lot of distractions and external interferences, y'all, with the 3 of Cups in reverse. Somebody's been living a double life. They show up with you one way, but now we got a tower. All right. What's this tower? Hold on. Clarify the tower. Clarify the tower. Oh, I don't want to use this one though. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, girl, somebody stop playing. Nightmares. Nightmares. I got to keep that out. Girl with a snake, y'all. And who is it? They fucking squad. I don't make it up. What did I tell you, y'all? Somebody, it's these close friends. Yeah, somebody thought they had them a tribe, child. Somebody thought they had a soul tribe. And they realized they ain't had a soul tribe. They had a girl with a snake. Stop playing. And now somebody is shattered. They whole little world shattered, y'all. Somebody, I'm talking about it. Somebody is shattered and they don't want you to see how shattered they are, y'all. That's why their ass is over here cold and control, because you told their asses to pay attention to the red flags. They did not listen. God then stepped in with his divine timing. And now somebody is salty and bitter, because they see the people around them, y'all. Somebody, you told this person that. Stop playing. That thing say divine timing. Yeah, all is working out for somebody's highest good. Somebody, you using pink Himalayan sea salt. I'm also seeing quartz, pink quartz crystals. Somebody, there's a lot of red flags, and you could have told your person, warning signs, take heed, right? This is a risky situation, but somebody didn't want to. Y'all, look at this person. Same damn card. What is this? Look, same face, y'all. Stop playing. Same face, y'all, on 2 different cards, y'all. What is that? Somebody who is fucking shattered because they over here in this cold, controlling ass energy and did not want you to see what the hell they was going through. Now they all poker face because all these goddamn people around them was what? Using them. And they were enabling people that were simply using them, y'all. When you allow people, you enable people that use you without boundaries, somebody that ain't showing you, you ain't got no idea. Somebody over here with a whole poker face. And what's taking place around them right now is the bottom of this deck. What? Karmics on 10. Drowning is out here again. Drowning in karmics. Yeah. Somebody is drowning in the karmics, y'all. I don't want to mix these decks, so I'm going to move these out the way. But it's their squad, y'all. It's pigs. Stop playing. Somebody, you live in the Bahamas, pigs, y'all. Right? Somebody, you went swimming with the pigs. Right? But what I say is this, y'all. Everybody got to see that damn double ass life you be living, y'all. So somebody is now understanding that they've been living a double life. Swimming with the pigs, y'all. Stop playing. 6 of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. See, this is a cycle, y'all. Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. Now, this divine masculine, they got a plan, y'all. See, I got the 3 of Wands and the 9 of Wands because somebody is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Now they setting boundaries, y'all. Stop playing. 7 of Wands. Now somebody's setting boundaries, y'all. Heavy on the fire energy, y'all. Your person person could definitely be a fire sign. 3 of Wands, 9 of Wands, 7 of Wands, or it's this Aries energy, right? This Aries energy is pushing somebody, y'all. When I do these daily guidance messages, this is real-time energy, right? Real-time daily guidance, y'all. And as the moon has now, right? Sun is in Aries, y'all. Moon is in Gemini, right? So this is about communication and intuitive hits. Your download's gonna be off the chain today, y'all, right? God is speaking, right? And you gotta listen. Somebody wants to travel, forward planning, moving. Somebody is just tired. Now, shit, they tired. They learning from their past mistakes. They understand that their past mistakes is what caused a lot of the setbacks in their life, y'all. And it had everything to do with these delays and procrastination because of somebody's inner circle, family, or blood ties. Simple, y'all. And it created a whole tower. Y'all, 7 of Wands. Yeah, 8 of Wands. Y'all, god damn, y'all. I got the 7, 8, and 9 of Wands out here. In 7, 8, 9 of Wands with the 3 of Wands. This Aries energy is on fire, y'all. Somebody coming in quickly. They're infatuated by you. I heard results driven. Somebody, you're results driven, or your person is results driven. Somebody is very protective over you as well, though. And I feel like because of that, maybe you are now busy, right? Or maybe you are resisting. What is this energy? Oop, on the floor. What is this? Yeah, King of Swords, y'all. God damn, that's that communication. All right, Gemini energy. That's that Gemini energy, y'all. King of Swords. Somebody wants to communicate. Yeah, 10 of Swords. Somebody now sees the spiritual attacks that have taken place on their life. Yeah. Somebody, your person knows that people around them attacked you, is what I just heard. The Empress and the 10 of Swords. And that ain't you in the 10 of Swords. Somebody now understands, y'all. See, this King of Swords now understands that people have been spiritually attacking you. Right? The 10 of Swords and the Empress, y'all. So now this is somebody who wants to communicate. Why? Because I heard a hit dog will always holler. I don't know what that means. So I don't know if somebody in the family done said something. Somebody done blurted out something. I don't know, y'all. But I heard a hit dog will holler. Right? A hit dog will holler. Right? So what we got to understand is that you are the Empress, right? Maternal, nurturing, right? Harmonious, right? But in this 10 of Swords, y'all, with this damn, yeah, so it's something where it's a spiritual attack. Stop playing. Adversity. God say pick up the deck because I don't fucking make it up. What did I say? A spiritual attack, y'all. The 10 of Swords, the devil with the Empress, all of this shit has been a spiritual attack, y'all. That's why this adversity is here. All right, it could be somebody's child, a mother of a child. Page of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. Children could be an issue. All right, whatever this is, y'all, this has been a spiritual attack, though. And a lot of it has been through your person self-sabotaging and making poor decisions, y'all. Like there could be people around them, even a child is what I heard, that encourages your person to self-sabotage and make poor decisions, right? That's what a spiritual attack is. See, a spiritual attack on you means that it's a 3D attack on your person. Stop playing. 6 of Cups. Queen of Swords. You got to walk through, y'all. Every time I see this damn King of Swords on this card, you got to come through, right? See, somebody, you had to pull out your sword. King and Queen of Swords is out here because somebody, you had to cut through these past influences of your divine masculine, y'all. That's all this is. And somebody, you're realizing that when you're under spiritual attack, it's because your person is under what? Natural attack. Yeah, that's all this is. Yeah, Page of Cups. Somebody is very intuitive, very sensitive. This is psychic activity, y'all. This is a psychic attack is what I'm hearing, right? And somebody, you didn't realize that while your person has been fighting this shit in the 3D, you've been fighting it in the 5. All of this is a spiritual attack on somebody's divine union, y'all. Why? Because I got the 4 of Wands that just fell out. The Chariot and the Knight of Pentacles. Your person wasn't going to never stop coming towards you. See, the thing about a Knight of Pentacles is this, y'all. The Knight of Pentacles, they ain't going to stop. They slow, they steady, but they going to win the race, y'all. Slow and steady wins the race. So somebody, your person is in the Knight of Pentacles, but they know that they are building, y'all, the 4 of Wands and their destiny, the Chariot. Somebody could work outside. Somebody could drive a tractor. Like this man, like he driving a tractor, right? So what you got to understand, y'all, is that this was always happiness. It was always about y'all. Yeah, somebody wants to communicate. Page of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. All right, but this is somebody who is very responsible and practical, y'all, and they are very focused on their destiny. And You are a part of their destiny, y'all. All right, let me get you some love advice. Then I'm going to get you some regular advice for today. All right, and then I'm going to see y'all on TikTok at 9. All right, let me get you some love advice, y'all. Yeah, Two of Wands. All right, so I feel like the mask. Oh, shit, y'all. Behind that is the Emperor. So as I was about to say, y'all, I feel like the masculine collective is making a decision today, y'all. What is that? To step up into Emperor energy. See, the Emperor is the number 4. For the divine feminine, that's this card, happy family, right? But you got to be able to decide that's what it is that you desire, y'all. So as the masculine collective are now beginning to understand what it is that they truly desire, right? That's the Emperor to the 4, right? Happy family, right? But that comes with the decision, y'all, to expand, right? To move past whatever circumstances, right? To find balance in your life, which is temperance, right? So now somebody is learning how to make the decisions to walk in this mature man, stable, reliable, more structured energy, which comes with temperance and the Page of Wands. Somebody wants to start again, y'all. This is good news. Someone is more open-minded. So I do feel like as the feminine, again, you may have to forgive, y'all. You don't know what the conversation is going to be between you and your person, but the energy is guilt for the masculine and forgiveness for the feminine. So whatever this is in your situation, it is going to restore some type of balance, some type of hope and faith. All right. You continue to be strong, right? The strength card is here. You continue to be strong because this is a lot, y'all. 5 of Swords, right? Strength to the 5 of Swords. Somebody, it's been a lot of sabotage. It's also been a lack of communication in your union. So you have no idea what's taking place in the background, right? So whatever this lack of communication is, it's going to take strength, y'all, when your person comes through and communicate, but it's also going to lead to a new beginning, y'all. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, y'all. So somebody, you're going to get this new beginning, right? But you're going to have to get through whatever this 5 of Swords is. All right, whatever the 5 of Swords is, you're gonna have to get through it. All right, let's clarify. Oh, let's get you some love advice. All right, let's get you some love advice. All right, y'all, it's 8:08. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the live. I'm live every morning at 7:15 for your daily guidance. All right, your daily guidance is based on astrological transits. All right, and then whatever is taking place in the energy. All right, today the sun is in Aries, the moon is in Gemini, which governs communication. All right, but it's about being led from your heart, right, and listening to your intuitive guidance. All right, I got 82 people watching. If you are enjoying the content, please give the video a thumbs up. All right, what else do we need to know in love advice before we get to your daily advice? All right, I'll be on TikTok, y'all, at 9. All right, graceful dance. All right, so inspire you and your person today, or be inspired by love, right? Lift each other up, all right, during both high and low times. All right, so if your person is going through something today, lift them up, y'all. Just say a prayer, right? Wish granted, yeah, because you finna get what it is that you want, y'all. Somebody's finna put in more effort because they now want to see the results. Somebody, you may even get a gift. Somebody, you can have on a sweater, a rib turtleneck sweater. All right, it says it's become a fairy tale when you make it real. All right, it becomes a fairy tale when you make it real. Yep. So somebody, your person is learning how to put y'all first now. See, the family that was the interference is no longer the interference. Now it says put your family first, y'all. Yeah, my king just texted y'all talking about beautiful rising love. All right, so somebody, put your family first. It says put your family first and spend time together. All right, priority, right? So somebody wants to make you a priority. They want to be more mindful of the family y'all creating. Y'all, look, both of these cards are showing couples and kids. All right. So whatever it is that you're creating, your person now wants to be more mindful of that. Y'all, it says being in tune with each other and getting along. All right. So somebody wants things to be more easygoing between the two of you guys as well. All right, is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing priority. Yeah. All right, that's it. Somebody, the last message here, though, is with this devil energy and this power play. That's been the biggest struggle in this for whoever this message is for. It says wanting to dominate or control the relationship. And remember, y'all, out of that other deck, we had those 2 cards that came out about control. So somebody, your person, they were controlling the relationship because of their own insecurity, though. It says insecurity and influence, right? So whether it was the influence of their family, the influence of karmic third parties, it was all a power play, y'all. But now I heard powerless, right? Somebody is powerless around you, y'all. They can't play. You were just waiting on the right timing. See, this distance right now, right, was all about the right timing. Yeah, somebody you could live near the railroad track, but it says have faith and wait until you find the right one, right? So you had to exercise self-love, right? Because this is in it for the long haul, right? Challenges that create space is creating space for growth. I posted that on my threads yesterday, y'all. Anytime you have distance or space between you and your person, that distance and that space is simply for the two to grow as individuals. It's never meant to be permanent, y'all. It's never meant to be permanent. It's all about growth, right? Calm waters is at the bottom of the deck, all right? It's giving me Six of Swords energy, all right? It says get rid of upheaval and leaving the dream behind. Quiet times, all right? Somebody, you're going to experience more quiet times. All right. I heard mental quiet times and your 3D love life. Like somebody, your mind has been running on 10 is what I'm hearing. Somebody, your mind has been running on 10. All right. So you're going to experience more mental quiet time as well, right? As you experience this next 3 days. All right. Next 3 days is what I'm hearing. It's going to be a lot more mental quietness. All right. Because somebody, you got to rest your mind is what I'm hearing. Because all of this adversity, y'all, see somebody you don't even understand what you're fighting against. It's a spiritual war, y'all. This is spiritual warfare. I don't know why y'all be trying to treat y'all divine union, right? Like that shit is just a relationship, y'all. This shit is spiritual warfare. And if you think it's easy, you are not on the divine journey. Sorry, but you're not. If you think it's supposed to be easy, then you are not on the journey. All right, let's get into your advice for today. All right, let's get into your advice for today. All right, I'm going to use this deck, today's advice. All right, I'll catch y'all in about 45 minutes, y'all, over on TikTok as we get our morning motivation channel messages on TikTok. All right, on TikTok, I do more channeling, all right, than reading. I do readings, of course, on TikTok, but mainly TikTok, I just channel to whatever the music and whatever it is that God is telling me. All right, advice for the collective. All right, what is the collective advice? All right, eternal love and believe. Absolutely. All right, it says recognize that love is a constant eternal force. All right, recognize, y'all, that love is a constant eternal force. And then you got to believe it. All right, you got to believe it. Somebody is writing your hand. Y'all stop playing, y'all. I just noticed both of these cards have hands on them, y'all. Somebody is writing your hand is what God is saying. Whatever it is, this is you have it. You literally have it. In the palm of your hand is what God is saying. You just got to believe it. This is eternal love. All right, somebody, this is eternal love. You just have to believe. All right, you just have to believe. Have faith. All right, in the power to create your reality. Because what did I tell you? This is about purpose. What did I say? Don't play with me. Don't play. What did we say, y'all? Divine union is purpose. It ain't got nothing to do with your feelings. It's about your purpose and the direction. See that compass? The direction that God has for you in your life, y'all. That's what it is. It's literally, it says discover and live your life's purpose. All right. That is the divine compass, y'all. All right. Serenity. All right. Somebody find yourself at a place of peace today. All right, invite more serenity into your life. Somebody go fishing, right? Maybe get out on the water if you can. All right, but it says find serenity within your mind and in your heart. All right, so somebody, you're learning how to find serenity. I told you somebody's mind is overactive. All right, love is here, y'all, in your advice. All right, it says open your heart and give and receive love. All right, then we have detachment. I told y'all, detachment, y'all. All right, so it says detachment. Let go of attachment to outcomes. Why? Because God got that, y'all. I don't care whether it's a job, if it's your children, if it's family, if it's your relationship. It don't matter, y'all. Detach. Why? Because God got you. You ain't got to worry about it. If God got it, then why you worried, right? What your grandma say? If you're going to pray, why worry? If you're going to worry, why pray? All right, so that's what detachment is. It says let go of the attachment to outcomes, right? It ain't that you letting go of your person, your child, your family, your job. You ain't letting that go. You're letting go of the outcome because you know what? God got it, y'all. Harmony. And that's how you invite harmony into your life. All right, that is how you invite harmony into your life. Y'all, I got 85 people watching. If you have not given the video a thumbs up, please give the video a thumbs up because I'm getting ready to go. All right, harmony, y'all, harmony. All right, it says create harmony in your relationships and your surroundings. And what is that? In your connections. Beautiful. Beautiful. Create harmony, y'all. What? In your connections, y'all. It says build meaningful connections with others. Build meaningful connections with others. That's what harmony is. Don't surround yourself with connections that have no meaning. Because what is the root of it, y'all? Gossip, right? What's the root of a connection with no meaning other than gossip or low vibrational activities, right? Because if it has no meaning, it does not align with your purpose. And if it does not align with your purpose, then all it is a distraction. Right? Anything that does not add to you takes away. Somebody, you a teacher, a math teacher, right? Anything that does not add to you takes away from you. Always remember that, y'all. Always remember, if it don't add to you, it's taking something away. Even if you don't see it, you better believe it, because we are all energy. Be adventurous today, y'all. Adventure. Embrace new experiences and adventures. All right. And then gratitude. Always tell God thank you. Simple. Always tell God thank you. Always thank the universe, right, for what it is that you have. And the fact that you're simply here today, y'all. Simply here today. So many people didn't wake up this morning. So practice gratitude daily to attract more blessings. All right, y'all. I will see y'all on TikTok at 9 o'clock, y'all. The Lady Empath 1111 on TikTok. There's a lot of scammers on TikTok. So find a page with about 23,000 people, child. All right, TikTok, y'all, at 9 o'clock. I'm out of here, y'all. Let me take my baby to school, and then I'll see y'all at 9. Love and light, as always, y'all. The Lady Empath 1111. Do not forget to meet us in Atlanta this weekend, y'all. All right, go to my website and RSVP so I know if you are going to meet us in Atlanta. I will be at the Women in Business Symposium in Atlanta, Georgia this weekend, y'all. I am the moderator. Portia Williams is a celebrity speaker. Dr. Heavenly is the speaker at the brunch, right? I am one of the sponsors of that event, and I will be the moderator, all right? So I hope to see you guys in Atlanta this weekend. Everybody else, I'll see y'all on TikTok in a minute, y'all. Love and light, y'all. The Lady Empath 1111. Thank you, Patricia. Oh, thank you, Patricia. I'm just stopping to look at the comments. I'm so glad you stopped by, Patricia. If you want more messages, just follow us on TikTok. I'm about to go live on TikTok. All right, y'all. Have a beautiful day.